Okay, hello guys. So today we had a lot of vocabulary to share, but unfortunately, because of the things going on today, I'm going to explain to you only what is regarding on the grammar part, which is the comparatives and the superlatives. Luckily, this was something we saw on yesterday. Yesterday, we started a little bit with the comparatives, and today we are going to add the superlatives, which is not a difficult topic, but just to pay attention. So you can work on your quiz and the other worksheet you have to work on. So you can watch the video as many times as you want, and then you can get a little bit of the information. So let's start with the comparatives. Yesterday we were talking about the short adjectives and the long adjectives. Y decíamos, yesterday we saw that the short adjectives, we were talking about one syllable. Teníamos esa discusión sobre que si es una sílaba. Yo les decía, tengan cuidado porque como pueden ver acá, the syllable can look kind of like in Spanish, it is like small, but also in the case of safe, ustedes tienden a cortarla como si fuera en español, safe, right? And then you say, it has two syllables. But normally we say, yes, they are long when the sound is a short syllable or one syllable. Examples of short ones, we got small, safe, big. Friendly, ya vamos a ver por qué no está en ese grupo que es corto, pero le vamos a agregar ER. Decíamos entonces que cuando nuestros adjetivos son cortos, when they are short, we are going to add ER, agregamos ER al adjetivo. If my adjective is small, then I'm going to say smaller. And this smaller means más pequeño. Example, a cat is smaller than a panther. We also talked about that than is que. A cat is smaller than a panther means un gato es más pequeño que una pantera. Or a cat is safer than a panther. Un gato es más seguro que una pantera. En el caso del español, siempre tenemos el más, entonces ojo porque si es corto nuestro adjetivo, it is short, we add ER at the end. Smaller, safer, or in the case of bigger. Another example, a sloth is friendlier than a tiger. Un perezoso is friendlier, es más amigable que un tigre. Or an elephant is bigger than a dog. No, it's much bigger, right? Probably you will say teacher, pero ¿qué pasa? Porque acá tenemos friendly, que terminaría en Y. Vamos a ver que si nuestro adjetivo termina en Y, nos va a tocar tratarlo como si fuera corto. Si nuestro adjetivo tiene la forma consonant, vowel, consonant, vamos a duplicar esa última consonante, or we double the last consonant, and then we got B, I, G, G, E, R. Always we use the than to compare. Hablábamos ayer que utilizo dos cosas porque estoy comparando. Good. In the case of the long adjectives, I got a butterfly is more beautiful than a mosquito. Una mariposa es más bonita que un mosquito, or is more interesting than a mosquito, or is more colorful than a mosquito. In this case, es más fácil reconocer cuando nuestros adjetivos son long, cuando son largos, porque tenemos beautiful, interesting, colorful, annoying, right? So they are longer, son más largos, mientras que en el caso small, nice, big, short, tall, etc., vemos que solamente son una sílaba o son cortos. Seguimos comparando con than. Chihuahuas are more annoying than bulldogs. Chihuahuas son más estresantes, o más stressful or annoying, no, than bulldogs. Good. We also saw that the irregulars, tenemos un grupo de irregulares, que eran good, which is bueno, and turns into mejor, better, but peor, which turns into worse, malo, which turns into worse, peor, far, lejos, further, más lejos, little, menos, o pequeño, que sería menos, less, and more, que es más, y sería más, ¿no? In this case, much. But we use it normally with nouns. Lo vamos a utilizar mucho con, como con objetos o sustantivos. Good. En ese caso no decimos is gooder, or badder, or fatter, porque decimos no, teacher, pero si es corto, pues debería ser gooder. Es irregular, por lo tanto, tiene una forma completamente diferente. Y aquí, you have to memorize it, you have to learn it by heart. So, good turns into better, bad turns into worse, far turns into further, little turns into less, and more into much. Good. Now so that was what we saw yesterday. Ese era el tema de ayer y por eso les pedía que compararan su animal favorito con otros 10 animales. Example, the cat is more interesting than, or in the future you can compare food or you can compare transport. Si ustedes se acuerdan en el nivel 3, comparaban el transporte, ¿se acuerdan? Entonces decían, the car is faster than, or the bicycle is more practical than, or the motorcycle is faster than, or Transmilenio is more crowded than. No? We were comparing Transmilenio with the buses, the bicycle with a motorbike, with a motorcycle, the car with a truck. We were using 2 objects or 2 ways of transport to talk about comparisons. You can also use it in this case with animals. I can compare a wild animal with a domestic animal. But when we want to say that one thing is at the top, is lo más, we are using superlatives. And the superlatives, there is no comparison. Aquí no hay comparación. If you remember the Guinness records, si se acuerdan del libro de los Guinness records, ahí mencionaban como the top, ¿no? The tallest, the most expensive, the nicest, the biggest, right? Everything was the top. Era lo más, right? And this is about the superlatives. Superlatives is about the top. Good. In this case, we got the short adjectives. Es el mismo tratamiento. Si mi adjetivo es corto, it is short, no le vamos a poner ER, le vamos a agregar EST. As you see in red, no? We add EST, EST, EST. But in this case, we are not going to use than. Ya no vamos a utilizar than because than is a comparison, right? If I'm saying Coca-Cola is more delicious than, Coca-Cola es más deliciosa que, I'm creating a comparison. But with the superlatives, is the top, no comparison. You are going to use the nicest, the best, the biggest, the cutest, the. The is la, el, los, or las, right? The smallest Chihuahua is Tinkerbell. So Tinkerbell is the smallest Chihuahua. Es el Chihuahua más pequeño. Tinkerbell is the cutest Chihuahua. This is Tinkerbell, by the way. This is a picture of Tinkerbell. So Tinkerbell is the cutest Chihuahua. Es el más cute, el más tierno. Pandas are the friendliest bears. Son los más amigables. In this case, there is no comparison. Les decía yo que cuando comparamos dos cosas, claro que puedo utilizar el than. Pero si yo voy a decir, mira, de aquí el más inteligente, ya estoy haciendo una comparación entre 3 o más. So if my comparison is about 3 or 4 or 5 people or 1,000 or 1 million, superlatives. 2 comparatives. Yes. So from my children, the tallest is, right? In Colombia, the busiest city is Bogota. La más ocupada o la más la que tiene más movimiento is Bogota, the busiest city. In comparison, we are talking about another cities. So we are talking about different types of ones. Good. In this case, as you can see, igualito como teníamos, en vez de poner ER, vamos a utilizar EST, pero antes vamos a poner ese the, que en español también lo utilizamos. El más largo, el más interesante, el más práctico, the. Good. Example, but I think the firefox is the best bear in the planet. in the planet. So I confused the thing. In the planet, right? Comparatives, long adjectives, sorry, superlatives, long adjectives. In this case, acá tenemos los que son largos. Ya no vamos a decir more, vamos a cambiarlo por most. Y en este caso, pues vamos a utilizar the most. I think the axolotl is the most amazing animal. Or bees are the most productive animal. Or bees are the most hard-working animal. Son las más productivas, las más trabajadoras. And this is an axolotl. This is an axolotl. It's super cool because it can regenerate its limbs. So you can cut a part to the axolotl and it regenerates. It's super cool. Good. And here we got the irregular ones. Ya habíamos visto que en el caso de good, que es bueno, better es mejor, and the best is el mejor. Bad, worse, the worst, lo peor, far, farther, the farthest is lo más lejos. And let me check, because I got a little, the least. Lo menos. Mira, eso es lo menos interesante que he visto. That's the least interesting. Veíamos que en el caso de little, less and least, no tenemos en ese caso problema como en el caso de more. Ustedes pueden decir, es menos interesante, is less interesting than, o es más pequeña, is less little than. En este caso no tenemos complicación o lío. Good. Here we have some comparative. So you have a little chart. You can see short, shorter, the shortest, high, higher, the highest, cold, colder, the coldest, simple, simpler, the simplest, clever, cleverer, the cleverest. Good. In this case, they are short. Estos son adjetivos cortos. Pasa con los adjetivos largos. In this case, interesting, more interesting, the most interesting, beautiful, more beautiful, the most beautiful, intelligent, more intelligent, the most intelligent, expensive, more expensive, the most expensive, dangerous, more dangerous, the most dangerous. As you can see, I put before, more in the case of comparative, and in the case of the superlative, the most. Good. So here are some rules. Estas serían las reglas que debemos tener en cuenta en general. So the first rule is in general, what we do is to add ER or EST. Si mi adjetivo en el caso del ER, eso es en el caso de los cortos, vamos a agregar ER y en el caso de los largos, pues the and EST. The tallest, the fastest, taller and faster. Simple. Ves el adjetivo, es corta, le pones ER si es comparativo, le antepones the y al final EST si es superlativo. In general, esa es la regla en general, right? Example, a basketball player is taller than a tejo player. Basketball players are the tallest in sports. Or an athlete is faster than a bodybuilder. Or Jamaicans are the fastest in running. Good. That would be the general rule. Regla en general. Adjetivo corto, le ponemos ER al final, in the case of the comparative. And it is superlative, si es superlativo, pues le vamos a poner el, the, and EST, EST al final. General rule. Good. Okay. If my adjective finishes in E, pero si mi adjetivo termina en E, no le vamos a agregar otra E, sino únicamente le agrego la R o la ST en el caso del superlativo. Example, cute, que es tierno. We have a dancer is cuter than a sumo player. Or kids playing are the cutest, right? In this case, I don't need to add another E. No necesito agregar otra E. Únicamente le agregamos la R. Like in this case, only add the R or only add the ES, the ST. What happens when I have consonant, vowel, consonant, que fue el que ustedes vieron anteriormente con big. In this case tenemos fat, example, consonant, vowel, consonant. Doblamos o o duplicamos, we duplicate this T, or in this case of big, consonant, vowel, consonant, we duplicate the consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, and then we add the ER, porque estamos hablando de adjetivos cortos. Lo mismo va a pasar en los adjetivos, en los superlativos, también vamos a poner esa doble consonante y agregamos ST in the case of the superlative. Example, a sumo player is fatter than a cyclist, or a rugby player is bigger than a cyclist. No? Sumo players are the fastest in sports. Wrestlers are the biggest in sports. Right? Solamente vamos a contar la consonante, vocal consonante de atrás para adelante. Es decir, arrancamos con T, A, F, consonant, vowel, consonant. Se aplica, la duplicamos. Good. There are these exceptions, hay esas excepciones que pueden, cuando nuestros adjetivos terminan en ER, OW, LE, podemos ponerles ER, sin importar que sean largos. Example, narrow, gentle, or clever. You can say cleverer, gentler, and narrower. As well, you could say more narrow, more gentle, or more clever. Puedes tratarlos de las dos maneras. Y ambas maneras son correctas, pero que a veces pueden estar viendo el narrower, or gentler, or cleverer. Y dicen, pero teacher, este es largo porque tiene dos sílabas. ¿Por qué tiene ER? Pues porque terminan ER, OW, or LE, ¿no? Aplica tanto si es comparatives or superlatives. A chess player is cleverer than a rana player. Or chess players are the cleverest at school. Good. And then we got the ones that finish in Y, los que terminan en Y, que habíamos visto en el ejemplo de los adjetivos cortos, que estaba heavy, I forgot which one was. Okay, there was one example with one friendly, amigable, friendly, y tratábamos de corto, friendlier. Todos los adjetivos que terminen en Y, los vamos a cambiar esa Y y vamos a reemplazarlo, we drop off the Y, and then we add IER, E-E-R. Example, heavy, heavier. In the case of the superlative as well, we change the Y, and then we add I-E-S-T. So, example, the heaviest. A wrestler is heavier than a ballerina. Well, the wrestlers are the heaviest in sports, right? No exceptions. Easy, easier. Pretty, prettier. Heavy, heavier, and so on. Good. In the case of the long adjectives, con los adjetivos largos y no sufrimos tanto, porque lo que hacemos, les decía anteriormente, si son cortos, ponemos antes more, y si son en los comparativos, y si son superlativos, anteponemos the most, y ya, no tenemos que sufrir que si terminan en que si tienen la forma consonant, vowel, consonant, que si terminan en Y, que si terminan en OW, and so on, pero son cositas que uno va puliendo alrededor del camino. Good. Okay, here I got some examples. Acá les tenía algunos ejemplos. Les voy a mostrar algunos. Mañana seguimos con el resto. Intentamos trabajar algunos en clase. Example, we got a wolf. A wolf is beautiful than a hyena. So we say a wolf is more beautiful than a hyena. Right? It's more beautiful than. Beautiful is long, right? Another example, an elephant is bigger than a monkey. Bigger than, and we use consonant, vowel, consonant because we double the consonant in the case of big, right? We are comparing, as you can see, estamos tomando dos ejemplos, and that's why we are using comparatives. A dolphin is cleverer or more clever than a turtle. In this case, remember that clever finishes in ER, termina en R, por lo tanto, puedo tratarlo como si fuera corto. A flamingo is more colorful than. Colorful. than an ostrich. It's a long adjective. A seal is cuter than an alligator. In this case, cute finishes in E, de como termina en E, no ponemos otra E, si únicamente dejamos la R, ¿no? Cuter, oh, cuter, good. A hippo, dangerous. So a hippo is more dangerous than an elephant. And to finish this time, a cheetah is faster than a snake. Good. So now we are going to have some little examples of the superlatives. As you saw with the previous ones, en los anteriores teníamos dos cosas. Estábamos comparando the cheetah and the tiger, or probably the alligator and a turtle, the flamingo and the ostrich. But in this case, we have no comparisons. Example, the cheetah is the fastest animal on earth because it can run 120 kilometers an hour on a good day. So no comparison with the cheetah. Another example, the black marlin is the fastest sea animal in water. It can swim up to 140 kilometers per hour. So it's the fastest. The sloth, as you know, the sloth is the laziest, right? Remember that in this case, Y, este termina en Y, y como termina en Y, lo vamos a tratar como si fuera corto, and we drop off the Y and add E-I-E-S-T. And then we got the slowest, right? Slowest. Slow is short. Slowest animal in the world. Then we have the dwarf seahorse. Is the slowest animal in the world. It's a very cute, tiny seahorse, and it's in the sea, no? In the sea. Then we got the blue whale. The blue whale is the biggest animal in the world, right? It can weigh up to 210 tons, sorry, and it can be as long as 26 meters. It's a pretty big animal. And to finish, the bootlace worm is the longest animal in the world. It can be as long as 58 meters. As you can see, in the case of the superlatives, very, very important to add the, vamos a añadir siempre ese the, EST in the case of the short ones, and most in the case of the EST, like in this example. The dart frog is the most poisonous animal in the world. Si es largo, most, si es corto, EST. Listo, chicos, esto fue como la versión súper extrema, extreme, and very, very quick of today's class. What you are going to do, lo que van a hacer es, tienen un quiz, you have a little quiz on quizzes till tomorrow, hasta mañana a las 6, and the idea is that you are going to practice a little bit of vocabulary of the animals and comparatives and superlatives, as well as a little live worksheet. Es una guía, una especie de taller para que la hagan, también de entrega para mañana, y es para que hagan un refuerzo de los comparatives and the superlatives. So that's all for today. I apologize in advance. Parece que ya logramos solucionar el problema. Fue un tema de... fue un tema de problema mío ahí de configuración con la nueva interfaz de Zoom y con la universidad. Entonces mi computador como que estaba todavía cargando y hasta hace poquito lo logramos solucionar. But I think that tomorrow we are all set up. Mañana ya tendremos clase común y corriente. So see you tomorrow. Have a good night and thank you in advance. So bye bye.